All right.
Welcome to Principles with Cory and Logan. Hey, I hope you guys are ready to go for a run. If you're not, you're going to after this call because our guest today, I'm telling you, you got me and her on one podcast. I don't know if airways can contain the
Oh,
optimism
now.
and the motivation between us two there, Katina. So
All
I'm
right.
excited for you guys to get to know my friend Katina. Many of you listening, you may already know her, and if you do, you know it's hard to come into her presence and not have a smile on your face. So I'm excited for you guys. And Katina, welcome to Principles with Cory and Logan.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. You're right. I love to keep a smile on somebody's face. I mean, so much going on, and I'm gonna try to make you smile. If you're not happy, we're gonna be happy.
That's right. Don't bring that in here, right? No fuddy duddy.
That's right. No negativity.
You know, we've got 3 kids, and our daughter, Kendall, one of the things I'll say to her sometimes when we drop her off school, I'll say, hey, Kendall, you see somebody without a smile on today, what are you going to do? And she gets a big grin, you know, and she'll say, we give them hours, right? So it's right. You're right. You know, you see somebody with a smile on, it's hard not to smile. So Katina, for those that don't know anything about you, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your background, your story,
Okay.
and what you got going on right now.
All right. Well, as Cory said, I am Katina Oneal. I am actually from South Mississippi. I've moved to the north part of Mississippi about 20 years ago. I married my wonderful husband, Mario, 7 years ago. This coming June, we have 3 children and 2 grandchildren, a girl and a boy. And so I have been in the medical field for over 25 years. I worked for one of the biggest hospitals in the state of Mississippi for 25 years. And now I'm working at a cardiology clinic. I was a wellness coach for Weight Watchers for over 10 years. Where I initially lost like almost 60 pounds. And so after that, I became a coach, and I have just, I love people. I love working out. I'm also a senior instructor at Pedal Life here in Tupelo. It's an indoor cycling studio. I lift weights, I laugh, and I also have my own podcast. So I just, I just love people. I love people. I love when people laugh, and I think I'm kind of boring. Cory says he thinks I have something to talk about, but we'll see.
No, look, if I can just get you started, I'll tell you what, you're just going to go to town. If I can ask the right question, y'all better get ready. That's all I got to say. I just got to find that right question. No,
that's right. It won't take long.
You know, I want to go to something you said. So you said you lost 60 pounds right there. Curious, whenever you start down that path, usually there's some kind of trigger that causes you to say, you know what, I need to change, or I want to change. For you, what was that? Was there something like that?
I've never been one to like get sick or go to the doctor. And so, and the 60 wasn't all at one time. It was like 30 at one time, and then a little here and a little there. And then I would go back. Then I would go farther a little bit more, but overall about 60, right at 60 pounds. My trigger was I went to the doctor, and they told me that I had borderline high cholesterol and borderline high blood pressure. And the doctor told me that I had 30 days to get it together, or he was going to put me on medication. And I was like, something clicked. I was like, I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to take medication. And I said, is this something that I can control? He said, yes, lose some weight. And I was like, okay. And so he began, and I knew a lot of people that worked out. I just started walking. I didn't do anything big. I just started walking at the hospital track. And I could barely walk a mile without getting winded. But that 1 mile turned into 2 miles. That 2 miles turned into 3 miles. And then a couple of years later, not long after that, I lost the weight. I started to lose weight. I went back to the doctor. My numbers were good. They were actually great. He said he was so surprised. But just from walking, I did not change my eating habits at that time. I just started walking. because I didn't know. I'm from South Mississippi. I was raised off of soul food. So I didn't know that you can cook greens and not kill the nutritions in them. I didn't know that. All I knew was, greens is a green, mustard greens, collard greens, cabbage greens, spinach. I just knew it was a good green, but I didn't know I didn't need it cooking for 3 hours. So that was a big process.
Yeah.
That was a big process.
That's funny. You talk about South Mississippi cooking. I really tried to eat really well and eat good stuff. And I can remember at Thanksgiving one year we were eating at my wife's family's house, and they had some vegetables and there were some green beans. I said, well, I know I can at least eat that. I'll stay away from the fried stuff, all that. And I eat them green beans and they were so good. I was like, man, that was some good stuff. What did y'all cook that in? Yeah, her granddad pulled out a big thing of lard and said, I cooked them in this lard. I was like, oh my goodness. Yes. But you're right.
I understand.
Yeah.
I do.
One of the things you mentioned right there is something that I've seen so often is just don't understand, right? Like I didn't know.
Right.
It was just part of life.
Exactly. And that's nothing. I didn't know. No one had told me that that you can eat vegetables without cooking them. I had no idea. I had been taught that. I didn't see that. And I actually did not see really overweight people in my family. So weight was never an issue until I got older and got out of college.
Yeah. Continue. You went to the doctor and they told you were going to get on medication. You said, no, I'm not going to do that. Right. And that tells me you've got a little bit of self-motivation and self-drive. What about some of those people that maybe have a hard time with self-motivation? They need somebody to help motivate them. You got any words of encouragement for somebody like that?
I do. You have to get to the point where that at that point was like, I'm not going to do this. So I always tell people, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I know that sounds so cliche, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you'll make a change. But literally, when you get sick and tired of yourself, of the results that you're getting or not getting, then you'll make change. And I don't care. Anybody can tell you something. But until you decide, I'm ready for a change, it's not going to happen until you make that decision. And so I'll tell them, when you get ready, I'm here. You've got to make the first move. You've got to say, and once you make the first move, the steps are just beginning to get a little bit easier and a little bit better. It won't be as hard because you've made the first step is saying, okay, I need help. I can't do this. And so once you do that, that's when change will happen. But you've got to make up in your mind that you're ready to do it.
I like that. And your radio show podcast you're talking about was Motivation with KO. And I just want to hear your thought on this. A lot of times I hear people say, well, if I was just motivated to do it, then I would do it. And I've kind of found that the action comes before the motivation does. And once you take the action, the motivation comes. Just curious your thoughts on that.
Well, I agree with you, Cory. I hear people say that all the time. They say, well, how can you motivate me? I said, no, you've got to do it. And I think the motivation comes after you have to be disciplined. You have to just like we discipline ourselves every day to get up, brush our teeth. We should wash our face, put on deodorant, take a shower. That's a routine that we do every day. So I don't have to motivate you to do that because you just automatically do it. But once you start doing that thing, once you say, okay, this is it, I'm going to do it. Once you make that point, say, okay, I can do this. That's when and start doing it every day. Every day. If your goal is to just drink more water, so many people are not doing something so simple as in drinking water. So if you just drink more water, just say, you want to say, I'm going to start today. I'm going to start drinking more water. Okay, we'll start today. Don't look at the big picture that you need to lose 40 pounds. Look at the fact that, hey, I'm going to drink 8 ounces more water than I did yesterday. And when you do that, yes. And then say, next week, I'm going to drink 10 more. I mean, I think we try to take bigger steps, and you don't need to take bigger steps. Just take one small step And that one small step can lead to one big step, just like the discipline. If you continue to be disciplined, then the motivation will kick in, say, I'm doing this. And then me or you will come on and say, hey, you got this, you can do this. Come on, I see you winning. That's where that comes in, I think. But the discipline starts with you, and you just have to make that step. You have to make that step, and you almost have to figure out. One thing that when I used to teach WW, which was called Weight Watchers, one question I would always ask people is, you can come in here every day and hear what I got to say. You can read every book. You can meal prep. You can do all of this. But until you find out why you're doing what you're doing, you're not going to stick with it. And your why has got to be more than, oh, my class reunion is coming up, or I'm trying to get in a pair of jeans, or I've got summer's coming. I want to get summertime ready. I tell them your why should almost bring you to tears. If you really dig deep, it should make you almost go, oh, wow. That was a lot. Sorry.
No, that was good. That was good. I love that, going why 5 levels deep, basically. And you're talking about those disciplines. It does come down to disciplines, what you do day in and day out, day in and day out. And Jim Rohn, he had a quote I love. He talks about the formula for success and failure. He says the formula for success is just a few simple disciplines. Practice daily, right?
That's it. Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Now, I think that's so good and right too. And he says the formula for failure is a few tiny errors in judgment. Repeat every day. And exactly what you're saying is that to get that success, it's not going to be one giant leap. It's daily.
It's daily. And you know what? Some days you may fall. It's okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Donnie McClurkin, who's a gospel singer, he always say, we fall down, but we get up. Okay, you may fall down, but you can get back up. So what if you miss it? So what if you you said something that was not positive? So what if you ate something you shouldn't have ate? It's okay. We're imperfect people, but we serve a perfect God. So, we'll get there. We just have to keep taking one little step. Say, hey, I missed it. I missed it. I missed it. I totally missed it. But own it and move forward. Don't dwell on it. Don't lay around and play in it. Move on, because greater will come after that.
100% agree. Katina, I want to tee you up with something, okay?
Okay.
You ready? I got the ball on the tee. You ready? All right.
Bring it on, Cory Lee.
So when I see you, Katina, I really see joy, and I see enthusiasm, and I see definitely a positive mentality. I also see love too. And I'm just curious, we went through COVID, all these challenges that people want to say, but I still saw you with enthusiasm and a positive outlook. What is the source of your joy? Like if somebody says, I want what Katina's got, what is the source of joy, Katina?
Jesus. I mean, that's it. I know that in my strength, in my own stuff, I can't do nothing. In my own strength, I cannot do anything. And I do know that there is a lot going on. Yeah. I heard so many people say, 2021 is going to be the year. They were so ready to get out of 2020. 2021 is going to be our year. But 2021 was like, what? Yeah. Then 2022, things got to get better in 2022. Well, Omicron. And I'm like, can we not just quit worrying about the next? Let's just live in today. Yeah. Live in the moment. Find something that's working, that's happy, that looks good, that feels good, that makes you happy. And I just, I grew up thinking, my mom always told us there's something good in everybody. And so I've always kept that mentality. There's something good in everybody. And so that's what gives me joy, is I try not to, and it happens sometimes. Sometimes I do have bad days. Sometimes I miss it, but I always try to find the good in everybody. And because who wants to be around people that are negative? They just pull you down. We got enough negativity. We just turn the TV on or listen to something that we shouldn't listen to. And so I just always try to be a source of joy. And I think as being a source of joy, I almost feel like so many people need that. So many people need to know that this joy that I have, once they ask me where it comes from, how you get it, like you did, then I'm able to share the gospel with them.
Yeah.
I'm able to share them how I'm so happy, why I'm so happy, and why I choose to be happy, because it's a choice. I choose to be happy. I choose to look at the brighter side. I choose to see, you know what, this too shall pass.
Mhm.
It may look bad right now, but better days are ahead. We can't stay here forever. You know, we won't be here forever. And so you have to just look at the big picture and say, you know, we can do this. We can overcome this. This too shall pass. Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
Not saying I overlook all the negatives, everything that's going around. I don't overlook it. I just look at the fact, okay, this is what I've got before me. How am I going to deal with it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got
that took time to get there. That took time.
Well, I was going to ask you that here in a second too, but you're right. You can either choose to focus on the promises or you can choose to focus on the problems.
Exactly. And I choose to look at the promise. I choose to look at the big side.
Yeah. And you know, the joy you're talking about, I think there's a misconception a little bit. So me and you, we here in the Bible Belt, we got people that listen from all over the world. And one of the things in the Bible Belt is, you know, I think our region is soft towards Jesus, right? But it's been hardened by religion. And,
it has been.
And the joy that you're talking about is not from a religion. It's from a relationship.
It's definitely from a relationship. Just like you and your beautiful family. I know y'all to be good people because of what people have said. But once I got to build a relationship with you all, no one can tell me different. I know because I have built a relationship.
Yeah.
I have spent time with you all. I've talked with you all. We have some of the same values and ideas about certain things. So I've built a trust relationship. And so once you do that, it's not about whether this person is Baptist, Methodist, Black, white, Pentecostal. It's about we have a connection there.
Yeah.
And it makes it a whole lot easier to to find the good.
Yeah.
To find the good, to see the good, and to dwell on the good.
Yeah. Katina, you touched a little bit about your mom teaching you some of that kind of stuff. Just curious, with some of the values that you have right now, were those acquired along the way, or were they instilled into you like from your parents? So a lot of people, they have great families who imparted to them core values. Other people, not so much, and they've just chose to learn those along the way. Just curious for you, was it more parenting? Was it both, or how did that come about?
It was a little bit of both. Like I stated earlier, my mom always taught us to find the good in people and to always show appreciation. I remember something she always says: if someone gives you something, always let them know you appreciate it. Thank you. I remember her saying one time, if someone gives you a stack of newspapers, take them. And I'm like, what you gonna do with a stack of newspapers? Because she said they didn't have to do what they did for you. Mm-hmm. And so that's something I've always kind of tucked in with me. And then some of these things I've just learned from a lot of falling down, a lot of hits in life, going through life challenges, wanting to give up. And then as I got closer and with the Lord, as my walk with him, I began to know that if he lives in me and if he's all this, so am I. Mm-hmm. Not saying I'm him, but I'm saying if the greater one lives on the inside of me, he's got joy, he's got peace, all those attributes that he has, I have them as well. And so I am to show that. And, and you don't have to, and I always tell my children is you don't have to make people like you. People should just want to be around. You shouldn't have to tell them who you are. They should just see, like Kendall, when she's at school, and they see that big old smile on her face, they should want to come and play with her because she's happy. She's not whining. She's not crying. She's not being a troublemaker. She's a good girl. And so you should want to be around people like that. So I just want, my mom just always taught us, be nice to people, walk in love, and be appreciative. And then, like I said, as time went on, just going through challenges, falling down, getting back up, I realized that some of the things that I was doing was not working. And so I began to do research and reading and lots of praying and just realizing that I could do better than what I was doing. And I just chose to make that route. Most of the things were put in me by my mother.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I love what you said right there. People should want to be around you. They should be
Right.
attracted to you.
Mhm.
And, as soon as you said that, it reminded me of something I heard Shaquille O'Neal say one time. It's kind of funny along through here, but he said, if you got a problem with me, there's something wrong with you, right?
Exactly. And you know what, Cory? When you said that, one time I had, and this is a story, if you don't mind me, just a quick little
Go with it.
story. One time, me and an associate, we had a disagreement, and I was just so hurt, and I was like, why does she not? I mean, I didn't understand why she didn't like me, and I was telling my husband about it. He said, "Baby, everybody's not gonna like you."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I don't know why." And he said, "Well, Tina," he said, "it's just like little children. Everybody's not gonna want to play with that child." And he said, "Just like Jesus, everybody won't accept him." And I was like, I mean, it was like something so simple, But I thought everybody, he said, "But your thing is, don't let them not like you because of how you're acting. Let it be because of their actions, not your actions."
Yeah.
And so I just try to be a light, because we live in such a dark world these days. People need light. People need to have hope, and people need to know. I think people just need a chance to say, you know what? If they can see me and you winning, if they can see me and you conquering, and see me and you pressing forward, maybe they can come along and say, "Hey, I can do this." Because my childhood years were really tough. I had some tough years. I was a young mother, fresh out of high school. Got a child out of wedlock, totally against my family's values, because I grew up in the church. My granddad was a deacon in the church, and so my family, knew the Lord. They were very popular, very good people. And so when I got pregnant out of wedlock, they thought it was the end of the world, And so I got the chance to experience God's grace at an early age. And I didn't even realize that it was the grace that was sustaining me, and his love. Even though I made a mistake, he still loved me. And so that what made me also begin to love people as much as I do, because if I can love me, even though I had committed a sin by having a child out of wedlock, he can love me. He can love anybody.
Yeah.
And so, that as well. So I just love people. I love, because I see if he can forgive me and he can love me, man, it's a win-win situation.
That's right. You called to extend that, right?
That's right. That is right.
Yeah. So curious about that. Had to be a challenging time right there. How was your mindset then? Were you still filled with
I
joy?
was nowhere near where I'm at now. I mean, I was young. I was 18. I mean, I didn't have a clue about. I was just so naive and just so, just almost just, just most 18-year-olds thinking you know it all, but really didn't. But thank goodness for a godly praying mother
Yeah.
that showed love. I mean, of course, she was hurt and disappointed, but she showed love, and she helped me. And I just, I got better. Things got better. I mean, it was hard. It was hard, but she was hard on me. And but she told me, this is your child. This is your responsibility. I'm gonna help you. And of course I had help with, with my child's father and grandparents, but it was basically my responsibility, and she was there with me and she helped me, but she showed me love, and she showed me tough love. And I think that's what's helped me. She didn't baby me. She showed me that tough love. And that tough love helped me to be where I'm at today.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you speak into that a little bit? Because here's the thing. That tough love right there. We were talking to a guy the other day, and his story is in our podcast that we've got. He talked about how he got on drugs real bad, and it was really his mom who basically dropped him off at, one of the get clean, get sober type places, and basically said, "Look, don't call me. This is it, right? This is it." But it was tough love, and he said it was, in the moment he was mad at her, but it was that tough love that's got to be hard as a parent, right?
Oh, man, yes.
Anything you can say to that tough love now, being on the other side of being a parent?
And that tough love was like, I remember one time I wanted to go out with some of my friends. They were wanting to go out, and I was like, okay, I got a babysitter. And my mom was like, no, ma'am, no, you have a child to tend to. That's what she said, tend to. And I said, well, I got a babysitter. She said, no, that's your child. And she said, you made this baby. You took on you made a choice, and now you got to pay. You got to suffer the consequences. And I was mad than a wet hen. I mean, like, I was mad at her. But that helped me, for one, not to leave my child with anybody. I mean, and I trusted these people, but it also helped me to see the value, the choices that I made, the consequences, and how I didn't realize how tough it was gonna be. She told me, no, you got a child to take care of. And I was 18. I'm grown. I mean, I can be 19. What do you mean? She made me sit there with my child, and and it was hard. And there's several times when I wanted to do something or wanted to buy something or go somewhere, and I couldn't, because I had other responsibilities over here, and what I wanted to do didn't even touch my responsibilities. And a lot of times we forget that the choices we make, the responsibilities that come behind those choices.
Yeah.
And they can be, and at the time you're thinking, oh, I'm just having a good time, I'm hanging with my friends, I'm doing this, and it's not so, but it made me be the mother and the wife that I am today.
Yeah.
Because I knew then that I didn't know it then, but now looking back, she did it for my good, and it helped me.
It developed you into the woman that you are
It
today.
is. And even, just even with, motivated people. And I sometimes I can be a little tough on people when they say, well, I want to help me lose weight. I want to do this. And I said, well, why do you want to do it? Well, I just need to. No, but why? I said, well, come back to me when you get your mind made up. But that's me. No, it's not, because you're going to waste your time and you're going to waste my time. And so until you're ready, there's no sense in us having this conversation.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to put people in a corner, then you see where they are. And that's what she did. She pushed me in that corner, and that was love. That was love.
Ooh, you got something I think we can go down real deep on there, right there. With what I see, it's so easy to make a choice right now, but to short circuit the responsibilities is one of the things I see in society a little bit right now, and or the desire to do that. And I think it's so awesome that your mom did that, because that has developed your character, your character part of you. And when we do those things, choices that we make, they do have some kind of outcome. And we just have to be mindful of that, good or bad. I can choose to do something bad. I can choose to do something good. When I do that, there is some kind of outcome. And there's a responsibility on the other side of that. And a lot of times people are trying to short circuit that outcome. So anyway.
That's true. I heard Steve Harvey say something. He's got this book called Jump. And in this book, he talks about, how his mom wouldn't let him. His dad was so hard on him. And he said all the other kids could do things, and they could go to parties, and they could get their dad's car and do stuff like he said, but he couldn't do that. And he said he didn't understand why his dad was so hard on him. He said, but his dad was teaching him, you work, you save your money, you can buy your own car. You're not going to use my car. And so sometimes we don't understand why it's happening then. But in the end, if you stay consistent, if you keep on the same track, if you stay on track, you'll see the end results. It will be good. I didn't understand why she was so hard on me. I just knew, I always thought she was just, God, she's being so mean, but she wasn't. She was doing it was for my good.
Yeah.
It was for my good.
Yeah, that's true love right there, right?
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that is. That is.
Well, so Katina, for you, what are you working on right now? What challenges are you taking on right now?
Well, right now I am getting ready to go into, as you know, I've had a podcast and a radio station, so I'm getting ready in February, hopefully, if all goes well, to launch that back on. I am also working with Tupelo Transformation Team, with my friend Cory Lee. And I am so excited about that. And I'm just believing God for big things this year. I want to attend the John Maxwell Leadership Training in Miami. I don't know how that's going to happen. I just know it's going to happen. I'm believing that it's going to happen. And so I just want to motivate people. I want to encourage people. I want to put a smile on people. I want people to experience this joy, this light that you see coming through.
Yeah.
I want people to experience that. And so I think John Maxwell team is can help me there. So I'm excited about that. And just continue to work on me, so be a better me, so that I can be better to everybody that I come in contact with.
Yeah, grow yourself so you can add value to other people. I like it.
Yep.
Well, we did so we're working with the Transformation Tupelo. I believe that's going to be incredible. Very, very much a value add to our community. We did a couple of years ago, we did the worship in the park. I'm actually working on that right now. We're hoping to get one of those going again in April. Excited about that. But
Awesome.
Katina, if somebody's maybe on the fence or maybe having a rough day today, do you have a word of encouragement for them today? Anything jump out to you today? And I know that's a vague question, but I just want to see where it goes. Do you have any source of encouragement or joy for people today?
I do. Just look in the mirror, take a deep breath, exhale, inhale, raise your hands, stand up, shake your face, just move around. You got breath in you. That's something right there to be excited about.
Yeah.
If that doesn't make you excited, there's hospitals that are flooded with sick people. And all of them are not COVID. There are some sick people. There are some sick people in mental institutions. There are people in prisons. There are women that are being molested daily. There are kids that are being trafficked from here to there. There are women that are giving their babies up for adoption, or there's women or for abortion. They don't want the kids. There's so much going. There are women that are getting beat up every day. There are kids that are being abused by their parents. So if none of that's you, you've got something to be excited about.
Yeah, that is so
you don't have a husband that's beating you up. You don't have a wife that's not taking care of you and not being a good wife and sleeping with everybody or doing things that are not right per your covenant or whatever. I know everybody on here may not be saved, may not serve this good old Jesus that we talk about, but if you're not going through any of those things, man, that is something to get excited about. I mean, I don't care how bad it looks, how bad the bills are, how bad the children are. You know what? This toot your pass. It could be worse. It could be worse.
Yeah. That's coming from somebody who's been in the hospital setting, who works in the cardiovascular, the cardio.
And I see sick people. I hear of sick people. I am so grateful that in spite of everything, I still have joy. And then I try to find what makes me happy. So what makes me happy, I get up, I get in my word, I work out, I walk, I talk to people. I love to see people walking around. I see in my neighborhood, I see people walking around. I will almost fall going to the door to say, hey, how you doing? Good job. Hang in there, you got this. And they be like, you are like the neighborhood cheerleader, because you know what? We still got joy. It's not that bad. The world makes it seem like it's bad. I mean, it has its challenges. But we take one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yeah, there's too many good things. I'm with you, but
yes,
that's awesome, Katina. Well, hey, Katina, you said you do spin classes, you've got your podcast. If anybody wanted to reach out to you or follow you or do one of your classes or check out your podcast, how would they get in touch with you?
Okay. You can email me at wemotivate at gmail.com, or you can also follow me on Motivate with KO. My podcast is Motivate with KO. It's on all digital platforms, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you listen to your podcast at. Also, you can come ride with me every Monday at 4:30 p.m. at Pedal Life here in the city of Tupelo, Mississippi. And also, and that class is called Motivation Monday. So I will motivate you and I will scream at you, but I will leave you. You will leave out of my class tired and motivated. And then on Wednesday morning, I teach a class at 5:15. It's called Worship Wednesday. Everything we play is inspirational music. And then after the class, we have prayer. We have prayer after our class. And so that is my favorite class. I've had people to get saved after that class. I have had people to say, you know what, I needed that. I was at a breaking point. And so that class is my favorite class. And so I do that. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Motivate with KO. And so that's it. I don't have a book yet. I'm working on that.
It's coming.
Coming. I don't know when. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but it's coming. We're just going to go ahead and put it out there. Me and Cory Lee. We got books coming. And, so that's what I do.
I like it. Well, look, seriously, I hope today has added value to you guys. If you're looking for somebody that really believes in you, cares about you, and hopes the best for you and will help you get there, Katina is that lady for you. She will do that. One of the things I talk about in coaching is that most people don't have somebody in their lives that care about their success as much as they do outside of their spouse or their mom and them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes a good coach. And that's who Katina is. And
I want to see you win. I want to see you win. And when you win, I get excited. When you do good, it excites me. I want to see us all win.
Yeah. Well, Katina, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. Principles.
Thank you, Cory. Thank you.
Definitely have added a ton of value. And hey, thank you guys for taking a listen. And if today has added value to you, feel free to share it with friends, families, coworkers. Make sure to like and subscribe. When you subscribe, it helps you to stay up to date with any of the new release episodes. Also, if something that Katina said has stood out to you or you have questions, feel free to comment and we'll pass those along to Katina and make sure she gets that. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great day and God bless.